Randi Weingarten is going after parents again. This time she's calling the fight for school choice racist.
Those same words that you heard in terms of wanting segregation post-Brown v. Board of Education, those same words you hear today. I was talking to Southern Poverty Law Center, and they showed me the same words: choice, parental rights, an attempt to divide parents versus teachers. And that point, it was white parents versus other parents. But it's the same kind of words.
And another big teachers union boss is causing controversy. Chicago Teachers Union President Stacey Davis Gates is defending her choice to send her son to a private school despite bashing school choice as racist in the past.
You've likened in the past private schools of today to, quote, segregation academies of the Jim Crow South. Why then send your child to a private school?
I didn't speak out against private schools. I spoke out against school choice. School choice and private schools are two different entities.
You chose to take your child out of public school for a sports program at a private school. Why not afford that nuance to the families? They want the same choice that you were able to afford to give to your child.
Number one, I have 3 children, and all 3 children have attended public school, and my youngest 2 are still public school students.
All right, that was some interesting fancy footwork to try to get out of that one.
Yeah,
school choice.
Yeah, to be fair, private schools in Chicago are a lot like the public schools. They just have nicer metal detectors. I love Stacey Gates saying she wasn't speaking out against private schools, but school choice, because choice can be bad. For example, she shouldn't have chosen to get a lobotomy because she's an idiot. You can't send your kids to private school without choice. And if parental rights are segregation, what are they actually segregating? Their children, are they segregating their children from gender radicals and militant activists who want to indoctrinate their kids? If so, I'm a segregationist. I'm a parental segregationist. And there is a solution for this. Let them teach the perverse doctrines that they've been pushing to the children of parents who want it for their children. Let them go to those schools. Don't put it on anybody else. This is why you need choice. Parents must have the right to choose to get their kids into schools free of this carnal cultism, you know, just like the union boss did for her own brat, you know? And her you know what this argument reminds me of? It reminds me of when the rich say how noble it is to be poor.
Yeah.
And then we'll give you welfare and we'll give you food stamps. Here, it's noble to imprison your child in a bad school with toxic brainwash. But you know what? You're going to get a free school lunch and a book that features illustrations of children's genitals.
There you go. I thought you had more
on that one.
Well, the interesting thing is that choice for her, Jesse, seems to be if you have means. The school choice movement is about providing all students the opportunity and parents the opportunity to make a choice regardless of means because they're paying taxpayer dollars, and you should be able to take those dollars wherever you want to send your kid to school.
Exactly, Dana. Every conversation, this is how it goes with Democrats. Everything's about race, and if you disagree with me, you're a racist. Yep. But you know what they're not saying? How terrible the schools are. Race is just a way to hide liberal failures. Talk about race, you point the finger. No one's talking about the atrocity that we call public education. And black parents are served probably even better than white parents with school choice. Most of the horribly performing schools are in these inner cities. They get a lot of funding, but do not produce the test scores. When people talk about school choice, a lot of black parents get me out of here so I can give my son or daughter an opportunity that they're not having right now. And it's not white parents that want to bring their white kids out of black schools. It's just white parents that want to go to better schools. That's all it is. And for you to say that, you know what, no one else should have school choice, but I should go to private school, it's the same thing with COVID. I am better than you, and I'm allowed to go to the French Laundry, okay? I'm allowed to get my hair done. You know, doesn't matter what you look like. I need to look good. I need to eat well. Same thing with private schools. The Obamas did it. All the politicians do it. It's snobbery.
What's interesting, Tulsi, is that right now Virginia really is the center of the political universe for the next month, where Glenn Youngkin the governor of Virginia really won based on school and this whole issue of parental rights and making the schools better. And there you have Randy Weingarten, because they can't defend it on the merits, they're going after the racist segregationist argument, but they're doing it also in Virginia. That's where she is.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, it's what we're seeing across country. You know, you're exactly right, Jesse. Consistently, poll after poll shows that Black parents overwhelmingly support school choice over white parents, and it's because they're very concerned about how their kids are being failed in schools. I heard it. I can't even tell you how many parents came up to me as I was campaigning in 2020 in South Carolina. Parents who were deeply concerned about their children receiving a failing education. They can't afford to put them in private school. You know, both parents are working 2 jobs. They can't homeschool their kids. They have no other option but the public school. And saying, how is it that others who have means have this choice, but we as parents do not? And how hard that must be as a parent to accept. The other thing is just the blatant hypocrisy of them accusing those of us who support school choice and parental rights of being racist, as though even the English language is racist. Oh, look, at the Southern Poverty Law Center says the word choice is racist. Parental rights, these words are racist. It's just crazy, and kids are the ones who are suffering as a result.
Judge, I feel like Randy Weingarten is the best thing that ever happened to the school choice movement.
I absolutely agree. I mean, you know, the whole idea that choice is racist, it's racist when it comes to schools, but it's not racist when it comes to the issue of abortion. You know, it's like they just make a decision that they're going to change the meaning of words. And honestly, I can't think of anything more racist than the teachers' unions trapping inner city schools in failing public schools. And that's what they're doing. And this whole concept of, you know, saying that you're a segregationist, or, you know, you're someone that if you want school choice, you're a bad person. But if you can afford it, go for it. You know, it's just, it's inane. And it's almost like the mental gymnastics. I had to read this twice to have it make sense to me. And if Randy is so interested in segregation, maybe she ought to condemn the schools that allow the black and minor kids to play together and leave out the white kids. We talked about this a week or so ago.
Yeah, in Oakland.
In Oakland, exactly. And, you know, it is an effort to divide parents. It's an effort to make sure that they've got control over our kids and they decide what our kids' destiny should be. And you know what? They're on the losing end of it. They are on the losing end of it, and that's why the name calling starts.
Well, there's a test coming up in Virginia in these elections. In about 6 weeks, we will see that.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.